Hey everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to make a pretty quick and easy chicken and broccoli stir fry. So when you're making a stir fry at home, you're trying to be healthier, and the most important part of a stir fry is the sauce. You want it to taste good, but you don't want it to have a lot of fat and a lot of sodium. So I found a recipe online. I had to make a few substitutions. I didn't have all of the ingredients. So I started, the base of this sauce is low sodium soy sauce. I always try to get low sodium. It called for oyster sauce. I didn't have that, so I just added a little apple cider vinegar to give it a little bit of a bite. I did happen to have some toasted sesame oil. You can put any oil in there. The sesame oil is just going to give it a nice nutty flavor. Had a little bit of honey. For some reason, I don't have sriracha sauce right now, so I just threw in a little bit of Nando's peri peri sauce. And in with that, I also put some chopped up garlic. So I stirred all that together. I put about half the sauce on a pound of chicken tenderloins that were already diced up. And that's been sitting there for just about 10-15 minutes. And so the other key ingredient here is broccoli. I don't like to cook broccoli in a stir fry straight chopped up raw because it can take a long time for it to cook in the stir fry. So I like to steam it for a couple minutes before I add it in with all the ingredients. So I do that real quick in the microwave. I just threw a little bit of water in the bowl with the broccoli. I put a plate on top, microwave it for about 2 minutes. So that way when I throw it in with the stir fry, I'm kind of just reheating it. And this is a good way to cook broccoli anyway. Okay, so now we are ready to start cooking. And also very important when you do a stir fry, you want to make sure that you get all of your ingredients assembled beforehand, because once you start cooking everything up, it goes really quickly. And I've had to learn the hard way over the years that if you don't have anything ready, something's going to get scorched. So if you are using a wok, they do heat up a little bit faster than a regular saucepan. So I started out on high and then I turn it down just a little bit, let that get hot. I've been stir frying with avocado oil. It has a higher smoke point than olive oil, and it's also still very healthy for you. So I am going to let that heat up. You know the oil is hot enough when it gets a nice little shimmer, which in a wok is not going to take very long at all. So we're going to dump that chicken in there. Be careful when you put it in there. It has a lot of liquid in it, so it can splash back and you might get burned accidentally. So you're just going to let this kind of cook here. This should take probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. You want to let it simmer there until the chicken is almost cooked through. So just keep giving it a stir every now and then so that all of the pieces cook evenly. So my chicken is just about cooked through. As you can see, a lot of that liquid has evaporated. So now I'm going to add in my broccoli. I may not need all this broccoli. I'm going to kind of eyeball it here. We want to be healthy, but we don't want to go overboard here. So that looks like enough. I'm going to stir that in. And remember, this broccoli has been steamed for about 2 minutes, but it's not completely done. So it is going to finish cooking here. Let's just add a little bit more in here. And you could add other vegetables in here if you wanted to throw a little onion in there, some bell peppers. You really can do anything that you like. You can throw some nuts in there. You could toss an egg in there, add a little bit more protein. So now I'm going to take the rest of my sauce here, drizzle that on top. That's just going to give it a little more moisture as it finishes cooking, a little more flavor. If there's a big hunk of broccoli in there, you might want to break that up. So you're just going to let that simmer there for about another minute, really just to cook the broccoli the rest of the way through and let that chicken finish cooking. Our chicken and broccoli stir fry is done. You can eat this in a variety of ways. If you're following a low carb diet, you could just eat that as is. If you want to put it on a base of rice, I've got some leftover rice here, or you could put it on top of noodles. You want to use a spoon so you get a little bit of that sauce. Make sure you give yourself lots of the broccoli, not just chicken. Okay. And then if you want to be fancy, you can, and if you have them, you can sprinkle some toasted sesame seeds on top. If you had some parsley, you could throw that on there too. So now you have a delicious home-cooked stir fry that's ready to go.